So for some reason it's not launching. Trying to figure it out. Yeah, now it's all good and it seems like it is working well. All right, then I think we can slowly start. I will introduce you myself. My name is Alec. I'm hosting the Ton Nest program within Ton Foundation. This is one of the programs where we support early stage projects who are building on Ton. And so we also have many other programs that we provide from the ecosystem side. You can check that out on the builders.ton.org. And today we have our amazing guests who will be guiding you through the topic of UX and UI. And I'm very thrilled to introduce you to Dima and Sonia. Hello, guys.
Hello, Alec. Thanks for inviting me. Well, good morning, everyone. Uh,
Yeah.
so, yeah, we are basically designers, mostly in the ecosystem of Tom.
Thank you so much for your time, first of all. And for those who are new here, we are hosting this kind of workshops on a weekly basis. And depending on your requests, if you have any struggles when building any kind of founder issues or technical issues, please feel free to address them to the Tomness program. And we will be inviting the most relevant experts who will help you out with that. And yeah, before we start, Dima, Sonia, could you please briefly introduce yourself? What are you, what is your occupation and what exactly do you do in terms of UX and UI? What's your experience and backgrounds?
Okay, so we are Web3 UX design studio, as we probably most of all known that UX is a big part of mass adoption issue in blockchain. So we try to solve it. And initially, we were born during the Telegram design contest in 2021. We took a prize place with generated name for participant, randomly generated name, and this name become our name of our studio. Sonia is my business partner, and she is our design team leader.
All right, that's very great. And there are already a couple of projects, at least a couple of projects that I know of that have been that have gotten their designs from your studio, and I'm very happy to hear that. And yeah, before we dive deeper, let's outline the format of our today's workshop. And Dima, how would you like this workshop to happen? I mean, if there will be any questions, would you like them to be replied immediately, and or would you like to keep them closer to the end of the session, and after that we'll be going through all the questions?
Mhm. Yeah, I believe that would be better if I will make a small intro to highlight my bullet points about Vector UX in Telegram mini apps. And then maybe you will have some questions, or maybe anyone else. So as long as we will have time, I'm ready to answer immediately.
Okay, yeah, and I will be helping you out with facilitating to get all the questions across multiple platforms. We'll be having some viewers on Twitter, some viewers on YouTube, and even some audience here on Zoom. And for those of you who are wondering how to get into our Zoom call, you need to find out the Luma link that have been attached to the announcement and register through Luma. And after that, you'll be able to participate our workshops with your voice. If you can share something if needed, you can start screen sharing, etc. So yeah, we will be giving a priority to those of you who are here on Zoom. And yeah, without further ado, the stage is yours. Please, Dima, over to you.
Thanks. So uh, first of all, I would like to mention the main parts of UX process. What is it about? What is the main stages? Why we need it, and so on. Um, so why we need it? Uh, During the history of software development, people recognize that maybe even better application will have less audience if they have lack of UX, because users try to not spend time to understand the interface. They try to achieve their goal as quicker and easier way as possible, because they don't usually spend all their lifetime exploring your specific application. There's very tiny attention they have to spend on it. So it's not my invention. So design process is already structured for a decade or so. Yeah, even more. So first of all, we need to understand our application, what we want to do, what we want problem to solve, what our audience, what limitations do we have? We are maybe in the budget or in development side or whatever. Because, for example, smart contracts, as many of you know, is a huge limitation on the UX side. So the first thing should be exploration, discovery, or research. You need to research your competitor. You need to research market, audience. You could decide your business goals and then go to design process itself. That's the first. Um, Design process starts with wireframes. So I I definitely would like so everyone understand that design should be started with wireframes. So please don't skip this step. Um, this step is crucial to understand architecture. Mm, it's the way how you could organize not only MVP, but your strategy view of your application, where you want to become in a year or two. So you could structure, for example, even your MVP in the way it will not block your future opportunities, what you want to be in the few years. Um, so this is the step where you could iterate as long as you need to totally understand that you're successful and you're happy with what you architect. The next step would be to create design system. Every front-end developer will say you that without design system, project will take long and edits will take a lot of efforts, a lot of money, and a lot of time. So to make quicker, to be efficient with your progressing of your development, make a design system of components. After design system, you could start to create your interface. But as we explored during our sessions this year with Sonia, I will mention it later that probably we step into the era where user interface will not be needed anymore. So that's a quick introduction. Maybe Alec or you or anyone else have a question at this point.
I think it's all clear for now. I don't see any questions across live chats. People are just saying hi's and hellos, and I see one comment on Zoom that +1 to design system as a former FE manager.
Yes, yeah, thank you. So that was abstract introduction. If we will dive into specifically Telegram and Tone application, we designed few applications. So right now the biggest our application is Fiverr. It's a yield tokenization on Tone, similar to Pendle, but on Tone. Before that, maybe some of you heard project is now closed. It was Crouton. It was a hackathon winner of Curve and Tone Foundation hackathon. So what we find during these designing these applications? I think that everyone tries to create Telegram mini apps in the same way we create our usual applications for web and mobile. And I think that's a mistake. That's where we could work on. So I think that we don't use whole benefits of Telegram as a messenger. where you could explore. So right now, the way people develop their application, they consider Telegram as a browser to create mini apps. So user will not have to go to Chrome or Safari to explore application. Um, but I think we can go further. So Telegram is not only just a messenger with just a browser. There is some layer in between. But yeah, let's keep talk about it a bit later. Mm, if we will talk about um, design process, some time ago I said that mm, good designer have to understand the limitation, and smart contracts have a lot of limitations. So uh, what I think would be great, what we have lack of process right now is that designers usually not involved into the smart contracts development. And I think that's a huge mistake. So usually it's a separate department. So developers is one league, designers is in another, business managers in a third one. So there is no like a whole picture of application. So I think product owner not only should lead the development itself, but should unlock experience of each department and set up the communication between each of them. If designers could influence on smart contracts development, probably account abstraction as a feature we had 10 years ago. That's what I understand that, for example, Vitalik introduced account abstraction 2 years ago. I guess first time was mentioned. Because of a lot of feedback that UX is poor. So what I want to achieve here is to for developers, for project owners, for startups, please involve designers in every process. First of all, in smart contract development, on the business logic, and so on. So we will create not only interface experience, user interface experience, but like a whole customer journey experience. That's another bullet point I want to mention. And so we can talk about UX in Telegram mini apps. I mentioned that we had this layer in between of Telegram as a messenger and Telegram as a browser, where we explore in our Telegram mini apps. I believe this layer is bots. So in 2025, the main interface become a prompt interface. Because of AI agent, every uses ChatGPT and so on. So the main interface users in 2025 interacting with is prompt. So users don't have to understand your specific application. There is a unique single interface common for everyone, where every application right now, and it's AI agent with a prompt. So user don't have to understand how to deal with application, how to deal with gas, slippage, breach, or how to make a position on yield tokenization, and how to claim it with rewards or restaking and so on. They don't have to. We could chat with the AI agent, not even entering the application in the browser. So I think right now it's the most underestimated feature of Telegram is using bots. So we could set up bot for each application we use. We could chat with specific AI agent, like for example, if it's Dex, like I could say like, hey, I have phone, I want to receive USDT, I don't know what to do. And AI agent will create directly in your messenger um, few offers, like here's one offer, here's another. You could just approve it, confirm, and you will have right now USDT. So new users, which we aim to unlock this mass adoption for 1 billion Telegram users, will not have to understand specifics of blockchain. That's the main actually point I wanted to mention today. So feel free to ask questions.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for the introduction, and I would totally agree with you that almost every second project thinks that Telegram mini app is something like a website put into the Telegram's interface, let's say. And yeah, let's go for the questions. Let's go for the cases. Let's go for the suggestions or any kind of other discussions. Those of you who are on Zoom, please feel free to unmute yourself and go for your case, question, anything else. And in the meantime, I will be checking out the live chats on Twitter and on YouTube and bring the questions here to our Zoom conversation as well. And I see the first question in the chat. So the question says, what is the biggest practice for the first screen of a mini app?
What's the biggest practice for the first screen? Probably we mean the splash screen when loading application.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I think there's no big big question of practice. It's about branding. So be creative, be unique, try to set up your branding, try to be um, lovely with the first touch of your application. So yeah, it's basically about branding.
Mm-hmm. And the next question says, any tips on how to identify a good designer when hiring? Many not so good designers out there. How would you assess somebody's ability to
Yeah.
understand Web3 apps
Yeah,
holistically?
yeah. That's the good question because actually, we have millions of designers and very few who understand Web3 specifics, and among them, really rare who can understand the UX and UI, be creative, attractive, and understand the specifics. So, probably. First of all, I would like to suggest not hire designer without Web3 experience. So they have to understand limitations of blockchain technology, limitations and benefits. Mm, also try to hire designer um, that not only achieve the tasks, hire people who will advise you what to do the best. So it should be a product thinking guy or guy. So there should be a person who understands not only how to how to deliver the screen you aim for, but to understand the bigger picture.
Okay. And yeah, speaking about the difference between Web3 designers and Web2 designers, what is the main ability, let's say? I mean, what exactly is different for those who are very new? I mean, we have a lot of founders who are quite technical or, I mean, uh, we quite very deep into engineering type of things. And when paying attention to
Mhm,
the skills of the Web3 specific designer abilities, what's important in terms of the experience that you pay attention to?
mhm. So if we talk about small team, like for example, two engineers aiming to create an application, they don't have design experience. I don't think that's a big issue. Uh, so everyone can be minimalistic. So that's the simplest way to be efficient application. Being minimalistic, and like as I said, um, how about try uh, to get rid of interface at all. like explore bot opportunity. You could create buttons and all alerts and so on. So it could be way too more efficient than any interface. For building bot, I don't think that you have to need big design skills to create it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I believe that answers your question, Matthew. If you want to
Uh,
add something, please go for it.
uh, yeah, and I think that we twice missed a question from Sukuna. What are the tools to get when getting into UI UX? So if you talk about tools where I make design, it's most of all it's Figma. So Figma right now is so good that you 90% don't need to get out of there. So that's enough.
Mhm. And there is one question before Sukuna from East. Do you have a recommendation for a UI component framework for Telegram mini apps similar to Material UI or Ant
Yeah,
Design?
yeah, for sure. So it's Shadcn. I can chat it here. So it's Shadcn.
Mhm.
Yeah, the best so far. I tried. Really love it.
All right. I will be sending that link to YouTube as well. And yeah, the next question says, yeah, if anyone of you wants to ask a question with voice, please go for it. That will be having a priority. And the next question says, tell us please top 5 most important specific things in design of TMA. For example, using Telegram interface buttons like button back, any that different and specific with standard application development.
Mm, so for those who not tried before, there's a full screen mode, for example. You could explore it. Um, Actually, I don't think like there's a lot of differences because, as been said, I when I design Telegram mini apps, usually as for browser experience, so that's just the usual mobile experience, nothing special. Like there's similar design advices for every application. Like keep the contrast, be simple, like don't have many interactions per one screen. Like there should be one or two main actions user could achieve per page. Um, Try to be like simple in navigation, so user will need to understand how to navigate between their goals. Um, And probably feedback is important. So not only interface feedback like haptics or a notification like success message or error message or whatever, but also another side of feedback. So give an ability to user to provide feedback, incentivize users to provide feedback, or invite them for interviews. For example, MetaMask each month suggests users $50 in Linear chain uh, to pass the user interview. They show you a prototype in Figma, ask questions, recording it in a Zoom, and analyze your feedback, your behavior. So yeah, basically that's the top 5 advices.
Yeah, I would agree that a lot of people still think that UX and UI are one of the most important problems of Web3 adoption overall. I mean, technologically, engineeringly, everything is fine, but the way we have our interfaces is sometimes very awful.
Indeed.
And yeah, if someone among our Zoom participants will want to share a screen, share a mini app, share a prototype or anything, and get feedback or suggestions or get a quick roast, let's say, you can do that as well. And let's go on to the next question. So I just copied and pasted a couple of questions that I got from YouTube and Twitter. Are there any good Figma kits or design templates for Telegram mini apps? And
Like, I don't think that's relevant because each application have different layouts. So basically, when we talk about mini apps browser experience, it's the same as in a browser most of the time.
Mhm. And the next question says, could you please mention UX costs about sample Telegram mini app?
Cost? What do you mean? How much you need to spend
I
on
think the question is about the price of
UX designers?
services for a simple mini app.
Yeah, if we talk about senior UX designer, usually it's about $40 per hour.
And to develop a simple mini app, I mean, with 4 tabs or anything else.
Yeah. So if we talk about most of MVP, we could set up it via 1 month. So 1 month of 160 hours, 40 hours per hour. That's the usual price.
And what's the best approach in terms of getting the UX ready? Is it better to hire someone or to outsource that to a certain studio?
Uh, Probably like of course, since I have a studio, I can say that you can reach me out. But if we talk in overall, probably would be better to if someone will advise you because you never know. Portfolio cannot show how these people will communicate with you or how they will deal um, mm, with problems. For example, like if you will not be satisfied and you want to like give take your money back, for example, how they will deal with those kind of problems. So that's should be good human characteristics, not only as a designer. So their portfolio could be amazing, but to work with these people might be a nightmare. So I believe if someone could advise you, uh, the person, that would be enough.
All right. And yeah, I think lots of you here can check out the interface of Fiverr and then think if DMS work is good. And yeah.
Yeah, thanks. We're considering the next step. So we had interface before my team joined Fiverr wasn't so good actually. So we create a simple mode for retail users who don't understand crypto or whatever, but still wants to get this 10% yield. And right now we working on redesigning DeFi mode for Degens. So it will be similar to old design, but a bit more optimized. And what we actually thinking about is this layer in between the bot.
Could you please specify what kind of layer are you
Yeah, so this
working on?
it will be a Fiverr bot. Like if Fiverr will have budget to expand our development, we will create a Telegram bot that user could skip interface at all, so they could um, connect their wallets, stake some USDT or Ton, receive rewards and restake and so on, not even entering interface at all. That's my biggest dream at Fiverr.
Yeah, I got the point. I think we have a couple of good examples already who work in the same way. And next question, any tips on building brand identity?
Yeah, that's the good one. The brand identity is crucial. So and so this very creative thing. So in opposite to UI UX design or engineering, where things could be measured as they good or not, Branding is something more abstract and emotional. So I believe that good branding should not be just be created. You should find it. I know that hard to understand what I mean, but w- when you create your project, we not only just want to take users' money and get rich. No, we try to solve some issue. There in this issue should be some artifact. Find this artifact. So find your branding. Don't create it. That's what I try to achieve. Hopefully, some will understand and enjoy this advice.
Okay, yeah, please, if you want guys to elaborate on your questions, you can always unmute yourself
Oh,
and add something.
uh, I can add one bullet point to previous question. So we find branding for a project that unfortunately is closed now. Crouton. It was a stable swap on Ton. Um, uh, uh, we created this project at the very time when Pavel Durov were arrested in France. And you know, in Russian language, there's a metaphor that's saying that people in a jail um, um, eat kind of dry bread pieces like a croutons, and we try to find something to play around with this trend at that point. So we find this crouton is this dry pieces of bread in the France, which is used in the prison, and it has a tone inside. So kind of, you know, that was a very fun, like a meme approach to create a brand, and I guess that was a good one.
Yeah, that's a very great example. I believe a lot of the audience caught the idea. And the next question, is there any design system guide out there for Telegram mini apps, something like material3.io?
Mm, not really, not really. I don't use material for a really long time. Um, probably some, for example, like this iOS guidance or material guidance is more to understand the principles, not to dive into details. So, for example, like you have to be alignment with this amount of pixels and that amount of pixels, and I think you need to understand what what is behind these principles, why they ask to to have this spacing, this amount of white space, this size of text, and why they put button in here or not there. So just to try to ask a question when you read the guide, and when you will receive your very answer, like what you will answer for this question, uh, that will be your own advices to yourself, what you want to what principles you want to align with when you design an application.
All right. And the next question says, how do you test UX UI effectively within Telegram before full release?
Wow, yeah, that's really good. So of course, we can say that here's very beautiful, creative, minimalistic, simple design, the best design ever. But how we could test it? Because obviously, there's you spend money on design. You want to be sure that this money were spent effective. So that's a good question. There's actually some analytics. Uh, it could be quantitative analytics, like some numbers or charts, and it could be some quality or abstract analytics. So if we talk about quantity, you could set up analytics, we usually use post hoc. Let me write it here, or maybe Sonia, you could share a link to post hoc. Really good instrument. You could set up post hoc for a screen. You could record users' behavior. You could set up a user flow. Like, for example, when users firstly attend to your landing page, then they connect wallet. It's the first goal. To make a swap, that's the second goal. And we could measure how many users were landed into your website and how many of them crosses the first milestone and goes to the second one. And we could see how this conversion works. We could see recordings. We could understand. We could create a hypothesis why users, for example, connected wallet but didn't make a swap, or for example, like not even connected their wallets. We could create hypothesis, but to verify it, we need to go to the quality or abstract analytics, is to ask users. We could ask him where, for example, Google Forms, to ask a lot of users, like thousands of users you could ask, and see how many answers will be, how they will be splitted between diagram of answers. But also you could invite users to interview, as I mentioned before. Incentivize your users. Like, for example, each project right now have their points for probable airdrop in the future. So incentivize users with this, create a leaderboard, and like say that you will receive 100 points if you will pass the interview. And ask user, like, here, we saw that you connected wallet, but you didn't go further. Why is that? Can we ask? They will answer. The user will be honest.
All right. And the next comment is, I thought this was going to be about UX best practices for mini apps now. When can we see some actual design lessons learned, etc.? So yeah, sorry, Benjamin, if that didn't meet your expectations, but still we will try to figure out to host something like that. Yeah, I see you're unmuted.
Can you guys hear me? Is it possible to just have a
Yep,
quick?
sure.
Awesome, because we posted some questions before, so that I'm not sure I understand. Hi, Dim. Nice to meet you guys. Hi, Alik.
Hello.
I'm a bit. So, for example, our question before, like we have several people of my team in the call. Testing before going in production has nothing to do with post-hoc or analytics. It has to do
Sure.
with where can we have a UI that can be tested without being in production. So your
Sure.
question, my designers are basically asking me what's going on, because that's not at all an analytics question. Then my question was about, again, for example, you have very specific UX on the mini apps, which we think is dope, by the way, right?
Thank
But
you.
a lot of the question we're asking now is not helping. We're designing right now, right? So for example, how the back button works with you, how you do the bottom sheet, if we can display a widget when the app is collapsed. That's UI UX. So I'm not sure exactly what we are. So I basically asked my designers to come in the call, and they are not able to extract any information. Are we going to actually see the UI and UX and see what are best practices or not?
So yeah, I see two questions. So for the first question, is you could test your application before going production. You could create in Figma prototype specifically and show it to your users while recording their behavior. So
No,
ask
that's
user
not
to.
that's not Figma. We're talking about specifically Telegram. I hear you, but that we know Figma really well. This is
Okay,
design. It's not an application test. For example, with Apple, you can go on test flight. For example, with your website, you can have a test website that people cannot access. With Telegram, though, there's not a Telegram dev, right? So we cannot just test the design for real.
I understand. I understand, but you could simulate Telegram behavior in Figma prototype. Why not?
Because the issue is not about if we can make it look like, for example, we do this with Apple app, like anyone here that developed an app already, you can do the exact same thing. You can go as far as you can on Figma. It will never change user testing on test flight. That's why test flight exists, right? So that's why the question, you can just say no, it's totally fine. I'm just trying to find out if the answer is yes or no. With what you said so far, the answer might be no, which is totally fine. But is the answer
Mhm.
no? You don't have a development environment.
No. We don't have development in
Okay,
environment.
great.
So yeah,
That's just because Figma, we know Figma. So okay, great. That's just what I
yeah.
wanted to know for this one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
oh, okay, awesome.
Not probably it's just either you could create a Telegram mini app on Ton testnet, so you will not show it to real users before beta testing, or Figma prototype with simulating Telegram experience. But yeah, I agree that it will not be 100% the same. Still, kind of, if you want to use Telegram mini apps prototype. Similar to Telegram experience, ask your users to use Figma not in the web browser but directly on their phones. So ask them to install Figma, so it will be
No.
open full screen.
Yeah, no, we know this. Don't worry. But this is not at
Yeah,
all a solution. Like any
yeah.
serious software will never do this, right? Like because we need a database behind. We need so that okay. But the answer is no. Thank you. And so for the next point is that do you guys have like what the question before, same for material 3, like actually a place where we can know about all these, like I said, for example, in music app, right? So we need to know if when you collapse the app, you can have the widget a bit bigger. We need to know if we can connect the database, what you have in the mini app to the posts, for example, because if you want to share music, you want to be able to go seamlessly between the mini app and eventually what you have in Telegram. So are you going to show us some best practices or some existing things? Because at the moment, the only thing we have is to use your Telegram marketplace mini app or some of the apps that you have. But that's just, again, we're just watching it. That's why we joined this workshop today
Mhm.
to shop it, right? Otherwise,
Uh,
we hear voice, but I would love to see your expertise. You know what I mean? To be like, for example, if you develop an app for iOS, you would do this, but on mini apps, you have that constraint. You know, the kind of things that we don't find in the documentation.
Uh-huh. Okay, so thank you for both questions. I believe this call were not created to be that specific, but you can reach me out in my Telegram, and I could answer a question to your specific application. Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got your
Not even
feedback,
for us.
Benjamin.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the very first session that we are hosting about the topic of UX. So we didn't touch the topic before. So this is the reason why it is very introductory type of workshop, Q&A and session. And yeah, we will definitely dive deeper into all the aspects that you're asking for with visualization, with showing the examples and making demonstrations of good experiences as well. Yeah, please stay tuned for that. I'll definitely arrange that kind of thing in the near future. And yeah, let's move on to the next question. It says, do you think localization is important for Ton? For example, the ecosystem of Ton is very diverse with many different languages, but I'm only an English speaker. Is it important for my app to get translated into other languages as well?
The same. So we had this question in Fiverr. We understand our audience and find the three most common audiences, which in Fiverr we have like English-speaking countries, Russian-speaking, and Ukrainian-speaking. So we just introduced three languages. Know your audience, and it will be a question answer.
All right. And the next question says, how could you provide some trading or portfolio management mini apps with charts, orders, deals, etc., with good UX and UI? Is that enough for traders? Do you have anything in mind?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I catch this question. Maybe who asked it
Yeah,
can specify.
I copied that question from one of the live chats.
Okay.
And yeah, please, whoever asked that question, please specify a bit more details.
Okay, no. I don't know trading or portfolio management mini apps. Never used.
The next question, it says, don't you think that textual
Okay.
bot interface will be too boring for average users?
Maybe yes, that's the opposite side of this interface. So that's definitely will be boring, more boring than usual interface. So probably we need both interfaces, and user could choose which interface he wants to use. So, for example, there is a different type of interfaces. For example, in YouTube and YouTube Kids for a different type of audiences. So user could choose what they want to.
All right. And next up, we have a couple of questions asking if you have internships for UI or UX designers or any kind of academy.
Not at the moment. Maybe sometime in the future. We had actually a few years ago, and we I think studied 10 or maybe even more designers, teach many designers, but that was a hard time. And yeah, one of those 10 becomes our one of main designers later, but not at the moment. Thank you for this question. We consider it.
Right. And I think that is it in terms of the questions. So, but we still have something around 10 or 13 minutes. So whoever wants to say something, please go for it or send a question in text. We can discuss that. Maybe you have any kind of specific requests in terms of what kind of design type of topics you want us to host next time, like yeah, like showing some specific examples of certain buttons where to place or arrange certain things, certain design element, etc. Please use this chance to say that.
Mhm.
And whoever is watching this as a recording, please feel free to send all your questions to the chat of TonNest. I will attach that in the description of our YouTube video, and I will be addressing that questions to Dima as well. And yeah,
Yeah,
Team Hashwell.
I will be happy to answer as much as possible. I see that at least 7 people already chat me in the Telegram. So
Yeah,
I
that's
will,
amazing.
yeah.
If possible, have some different templates or layouts we can build in top, please. And yeah, I see Team Hashwall is unmuted. If you want to show something, ask something, please go for it.
Yeah, hello guys. I would like to showcase my Figma mockup if it's possible.
Please.
Yeah, you can share your screen, and while you are launching the screen sharing, please tell us briefly about who you are and what you're working on.
Yeah, so I'm a founder of Hashwall. We are given users ability to generate custom address custom ton wallets, fully secured, and yeah, maybe for brands like or any other purposes, or just to flex on other blockchain guys. So yeah, wait, I'll turn on my demonstration.
Yeah,
Sorry,
and
hash what?
Hashwall.
Hashflow.
No, Hashwall,
Wall.
wallet. Yeah,
Okay.
wall.
Okay. Thank you. Hashwall.
and yeah, to my knowledge, that's still in the MVP stage, and
Yeah, it's in the
yeah,
stage.
it's not fully released yet. And yeah,
Latest.
do you need any help with screen sharing?
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to screen share in Zoom.
You
It's
can find the share button right in the bottom, in the middle.
wait, guys, I'm trying my best. Yeah, I can see it. Thank you. So here it is. It's a little bit goofy. So yeah, just briefly, maybe some pain points or user flow related things. So I'll explain a little bit if it's okay, and then you'll answer.
Mhm.
So here's our slider. I will maybe later show it in live. Just a brief explanation of project, like sense of the project. Here is the main screen that users sees at first. Here's input field, settings options, and two plans, which like user can pick and choose a method like free option, a local generating that is slow and has really not much sense, and paid generation on our GPUs, on our servers. So yeah, also here is screen like animation that showing the process is going for local option. Those screen are like not really finalized. Here is logic that social file, like elements that we will implement later, but yeah, user can pick one of two like addresses with cards. And here's a leaderboard, not really final version too. And yeah, user profile screen.
Mhm.
Yeah, but if it's possible, I want you to concentrate on like these few screens,
Mhm.
because yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So overall, it looks good. But yeah, a few things you need to focus on. So um, definitely you need to have more alignment from the navigation bar, because there will be an iOS bar. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, I see you.
remember.
Like user will
Yes.
accidentally.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So give more space at the bottom. Also, I see that you have multiple styles, like
Yeah,
for
fonts
buttons
is yeah, buttons and fonts and colors. Like it's rigged a
to be
little.
determined. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I see you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, like, and if you could actually guide user like which option you suggest as a better one. So,
Mhm, mhm,
for example, like you could introduce primary button, the main action you want user
mhm.
to be, and secondary. For example, like if it's a free option, you could outline this button, and pro version remain this gradient attractive. Um, but what I would recommend you to use, I sent a link to Zoom chat. There's a color contrast tool. Try um, to achieve the contrast, because as I can see, you have a lack of contrast.
Yeah,
Some
I know a few
some
screens.
good, yeah. So,
Mhm.
some alignments. So even with existing designs, you could make it better. There's a lot of small things I want to
Yeah,
show.
yeah, I
Maybe
know it. That's
you could
why.
send a link, for example.
Oh, it would be great. It would be
Yeah.
great. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll send
Okay.
you.
I think that's a good example. And you're founder and probably developer, right?
Yeah, I mean, partly, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a designer, but I do everything what's
hmm
possible in my.
So from design standpoint, I'd say I will not like estimate the attractiveness of design. I can just estimate um, some logical things like alignment, contrast,
Mhm,
or like a focus, and so on. Like maybe rounding,
mhm, mhm. Okay.
but probably you could be more creative in the um,
Like
into the
overall,
UI. Yeah.
yeah, okay, I see you. Thank you.
So
Okay.
you sent a link, no?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
And there is a question, by the way. Can we also send you DM for feedback and suggestions of
Yes,
our Daily
please.
app?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I think only the audience here on Zoom could find your nickname on Telegram,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't we didn't share that across YouTube and Twitter, but still, if there will be too much, just let me know, Dima, and
No, all good. I will try to answer as much as possible. Probably it just will take time to answer for everyone.
all right, thank you so much.
And yeah, so team, you could send me actually this link later in my DM, so we could discuss. I can. It will take 10 minutes to mention main points on your design.
Yeah, but I can find your TG tag. Sorry.
In a
I will
Zoom,
send
it's
you.
yeah, it's Groovy Team.
Okay, okay. See. Thank you.
All right. And yeah, we still have a couple of minutes. If you guys want to quickly ask something or share, please use this moment. And I will count that like we are now set up, but still that was very intensive, I would say. A lot of questions, a lot of feedback, a lot of comments, and that was really great to dive deeper into the topic of UX. And please feel free to share any suggestions or your opinion about what kind of UX topics you want to have you want to have from Ton, and we'll be definitely organizing that. And yeah, probably something like a roast session would be useful as well, where we will be having something like a board of jury members with UX backgrounds trying to roast and give critique about different templates, about different mocks or MVPs, etc. But still, we'll think about that in the future. And yeah, thank you so much, Dima and Sonia, for participating and for such a great session. I really enjoyed touching this topic, and probably yeah, feel free to reach out to us once you'll be having something to share, something to learn, something to teach, or something to ask even. And yeah, our stage is always open for your activities. And
Yes.
yeah, thank you everyone for asking questions. Before we wrap it up, I would like to remind everyone that tomorrow, same time, we'll be having a workshop about best practices in Ton Smart Contract development. That will be quite technical, but still feel free to join if you are interested. And I think this is it. This video will be published on our YouTube channel just in a couple of hours. And after that, you'll be able to find that recording there. Thank you so much once again. Please stay tuned for the updates, and bye-bye, everyone.
Yes. Thank you.